सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. In the previous class, we have initiated sloka number 7. Sloka number 7 and 8 are read together because it conveys a continuation of the same idea. So first we'll see 7th sloka and then go to 8th sloka. Together we'll understand the content. Mamaivanso jivaloke jivabhutas sanatanaha manasashtani indriyani prakrutistani karshati. Amsa mama eva, a part of myself alone, sanatanaha jivabhutaha, is in the form of eternal jiva. Jivaloke, in the world of beings, karshati, he pulls, indriyani, all the 5 sense organs, manaha sashtani, along with the mind as the 6th one, prakrutistani, which reside in the body. Asmin jivaloke mama eva sanatanaha amshaha jivabhutaha asti saha prakrutistani manasashtani indriyani karshat. A part of myself alone is in the form of eternal jiva. In the world of beings, he pulls 5 sense organs with the mind as 6th, which reside in the body. So, in the last class, I have mentioned at the time of death, the Sushma Sariram, along with all 19 elements, it comes out of the Stula Sariram and travels. That Jiva is Mama Amsa Eva. Paramatma is saying, Jiva is my Amsa only, my part only. Jiva or Jivatma is nothing but Sushma Sariram along with Chidabhasa. Sushma Sariram and Karna Sariram along with Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. Simply, it is mentioned in some cases as Sushma Sariram. In fact, we have to understand it is a bundle of Sushma Sariram, Karna Sariram and Chidabhasa. Here, in this sloka, to simplify, it is mentioned that Sushma Sariram travels after death. So, we will see the continuity of this in the 8th sloka, then we will try to understand this. Sariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati svara gruhitvaita nisayati vayurgandha nivasayat. Ishvaraha, the Lord, pulls the sense organs. Yat utkramati, when he leaves the body. When Jiva leaves the body, it is Ishvara who pulls the Sushma Sarira out from Stula Sarira. Yatcha api avapnoti, when he requires Sariram, another body, samyati, he moves. Gruhitva etani, with his organs, Iva vayuhu gandhan asayat, just as the wind moves with a fragrance from one place to another. Yat yeshaha iswaraha sariram avapnoti apicha yat vutkramati tat vayuhu asayat gandhan iva etani gruhitva sanyat. Lord pulls the sense organs, and when he leaves the body, he acquires another body. He moves with his organs. In the previous sloka, we said that 6 items he takes away: sense organs and the mind. Along with sense organs, he takes the other organs of action also. So total Sushma Sariram is taken away from the body. Echapyutkramati. This word means, Echa means yet cha, when Utkramati, when Jiva leaves the body, when Jivatma leaves the body and travels, he takes along with him Indriyas and mind. Yada Jivaha Utkramati, tada Prakrutistani Manaha Sashtani Indriyani Karshat. So, when Jivatma comes out of the Stula Sariram, the Sushma Sariram, the subtle body, along with the mind and sense organs, it travels. Then what will the Jivatma do? The moment somebody dies, it is the immediate feeling of everyone, where will this Jiva goes? What happens to Jiva? Till an hour back he was alive and he was talking to us. Suddenly he collapsed. What will happen to this Jiva? Such doubts linger in most of the minds. So Paramatma is answering, Sariram avapnoti Ishvaraha. Here the word Ishvara is not Parameshvara. Ishvara is Jiva. Ishvara is not Parameshvara, is not the Vyavahara Ishvara. He is the Jiva. Why Jiva is called Ishvara here? For that, two reasons are there. Both Jiva and Ishvara, they are nothing but the reflected consciousness. Both are reflected consciousness of the original consciousness. Both are Chidabhasa. So, you can also call Jiva as Ishvara. The second meaning, we can say Ishvara means the overlordship. He is the controller. He is a king. So, Jivatma is the controller of this entire body. He has overlordship on the body or the Stula Sariram. So, without the Sushma Sariram, without the sentiency of the Sushma Sariram, the Stula Sariram cannot survive. The moment Sushma Sariram goes away, Stula Sariram falls and people declare he is dead. So, Sarirasya Swami, he is the Lord of Sariram, Stula Sariram. That's why he is called Ishvaraha. That Sariram may be anything. It may be a higher Sariram, or it may be mediocre Sariram, or a lower Sariram. It is not guaranteed that a man will always take the birth of a man after death. He may go to higher realms of heaven and take Devata Sarirams. Or he may take an animal Sariram or Hina Sariram in the lower Lokas. According to Darwin, there will be always an evolution. The journey will be always forward, not backward. But that is not so according to our Vedanta Shastra. What kind of birth one should take? Who decides? Shastra says Jiva himself is the responsible person for his future Janma. Whatever he does, depending on that, his next Janma is carried. So, Paramatma says, if you listen to Gita, if you understand Gita, you will not fall down. You will only take higher Janmas. So, the advice is don't stop listening. You keep till the end of the Gita is over. You keep listening, because Gita itself is a moksha shastra. If you digest, Gita itself can liberate you and give you Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Na kalyana krut kaschid durgam tata gacchati. That's what Paramatma gave assurance. So that way, Jiva takes another body. So from the previous body, he takes the sense organs and the mind. The sense organ means along with the Indriya Shakti. So the outer eye, ear, nose and all that, they are called Golakas. Whereas Indriyas are in the Sushma Sariram. So Golakas are the counters for Indriyas. So for eye, the Chakshurindriyam will be in Sushma Sariram. Golakam is fitted externally in the Sthula Sariram. Similarly, ear lobe we see is a Golakam which is fitted in the Sthula Sariram. Its Indriyam is, the corresponding Indriyam is in the Sushma Sariram. So when Jivatma goes to a new Sariram, it is like, when you change a house, the packers and movers, they will pack everything and bring it to a new house, and then they keep all the boxes and go away. So you open each box and you arrange things accordingly. All kitchenware will go to kitchen, all bedroom items will go to bedroom, like that you arrange accordingly. Whatever goes to the puja room will go to puja room. So like that, you have an arrangement. Gruhi tvaitani sanyat. Yetani means this very mind and sense organs. Sanyati means they travel. So for this, Paramatma is giving a beautiful comparison, beautiful example. That means he is saying, Vayur Gandha Nivasayat. So as Vayu, as the air takes the fragrance of a flower, as the air carries the fragrance of a flower along with it, in the same way, Jivatma will carry the Sushma Sariram along with it. The flower is visible to us, but the fragrance is not visible. That invisible fragrance which comes out of the flower is carried by the wind. In the same way, Sola Sariram is visible, Sushma Sariram is not visible. That Sushma Sariram is carried to the respective body. So, when will we get the next birth? Immediately after death, is it possible that the person takes birth? If that be the case, we need not do the Shraddha Karmas. It is not the same thing for each and every person. For some persons, next Janma may be in few days. For some, it may be in few years. For some, it may be in lakhs of years. So it varies from Jiva to Jiva. So there is another reason here. There is a time gap also. Whatever the time scale that is available on earth may not be true in other lokas. It may be more or it may be less. Like in our dream, the dream time. The dream time is, according to the scientists, 1.5 minutes. During that 1.5 minute, you get married and you beget children, and they go to school and they get graduation, they join jobs, and so many things do happen. So if that 1.5 minute is a big thing in dream, so in the very earth in Swapna, the time span is very little. So in the same way, in other lokas also the time span will be different. So we do not know when. When means it is a relative thing. we cannot exactly say when they will go to the other lokas. So, if a person is living, that itself is the proof of existence of God. That shows the very presence, that shows the Chaitanya Tattvam is there. If Chaitanya is there in the body, then he transacts and he articulate and he expresses and show all kind of sentient activity. That itself shows, if a person is alive, that shows the very presence of God as Sat, as Chit. The moment he dies, that itself is a proof God is there. Because the moment he dies, all the Chaitanya Shakti is gone. All the transactions are gone. He is like a dead log. So, that means the Chaitanya Shakti is given by the Sushma Sariram. For Sushma Sariram, the Chaitanya Shakti is given by God. So, it is like the electricity. We see fan is moving, tube light is brilliantly shining. If fan is rotating, if a tube light is shining brilliantly, where do they get this energy? They get this energy from an invisible energy called electricity. Electricity is not visible. Fan functions, tube light functions, all because of the invisible tattvam called electricity. So, in the same way, the Sushma Sariram, it takes that invisible sentiency through Chaitanya, and then it acts as a sentient thing, Chaitana Vastu. Originally, Sushma Sariram is not sentient, Stula Sariram is also not sentient. Mind in the Sushma Sariram gets illumined or gets the Chaitana Shakti, gets the Chidabhasa, and it in turn illumines all sense organs and the entire body. So this is how the entire body from top to toe, it gets that sentiency. This is what we have learnt in Kenopanishad. It has given a definition of the ear as Srotrasya Srotram, Manaso Manoyat, Vachoha Vacham, Savu Pranasya Pranaha. So if you take the ear is a Jadavastu. It is insentient. It cannot function on its own unless there is some external agency which makes it function. So Atma and ear, they are two different things. Atma is different, ear is different. Atma pervades the entire ear and it is different from the ear. And because of Atma, the ear functions as ear. So the same thing you can extend it to eye, you can extend it to the vak, you can extend it to prana and so on. That's what Bhajagovindam we have learnt. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe, tavat pruchati kusalam gehe, gatavati vayo deha paye, bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. As long as this breathing continues, all your kith and kin will talk pleasingly with you. The moment you lose breathing, the moment you breathe your last, even your wife will be scared to touch you. So, this is the state of a jiva. So our body is like a rented house. The rent is nothing but punyam and papam. Punya papa prarabdha karma. So just as wind carries the fragrance of the flowers, the jiva carries the sushma sariram along with the sense organs and then enters a new body. And then he continues his journey. So, the moment a person dies, that means the jiva is not dying. Jiva neither dies nor will he take a birth. Jiva is eternal. He simply goes from one body to another body. So, this is an unending story. This is an unending process. So, we will proceed to sloka number 9. Srotram chakshusparsanancha rasanam granamevacha adhishtaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate. Adhishtaya, restoring to. Srotram, the ear. Chakshuhu, the eye. Sparsanam, skin. Rasanam cha, the tongue. Evacha, granam, and the nose. Cha, manaha, as well as the mind. Ayam upasevate, he experiences. Vishayan, these sense objects. Ayam jivaha srotram chakshuhu sparsanancha rasanam granam manahacha eva adhishtaya vishayan upasevate. Resorting to the ear, the eye, the skin, the tongue, the nose, as well as the mind, he experiences the sense objects. Sushma Sariram travels along with Chidabhasa and with its 19 elements after death. So, what are all the 19 organs? Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Pranas, Chatvari, Antakaranani. So, they are not visible. So, this invisible Chidabhasa takes invisible Sushma Sariram along with invisible 19 organs, 19 elements. So, you should be very careful. Indriyas are different from Golakas. Golakas are fitted on the Stula Sariram. Indriyas are there, the corresponding Indriyas are there on the Sushma Sariram. Sushma Sariram is the same in all Janmas. So, when the Sushma Sariram enters another human body, then the corresponding Golakas will be there. So, these Golakas are connected to the respective Indriyas and they function. If the Sushma Sarira enters a tree, a Vruksha Sariram, then it will not have Pancha Jnanendriyas. Only the skin will be there. So, only the touch it can feel. So, like that, the Golakas, they keep varying depending on the Sariram. So, Chakshurindriyam will go to Chakshur Golakam. Srotrindriyam will go to Srotra Golakam. Like that, each Indriya will be connected to the respective Golaka. Srotram Chakshus Parsanancha Rasanam Grana Vevacha. The hearing capacity, the seeing capacity, the touching capacity, the tasting capacity, the smelling capacity is possible when they are connected to the respective Golakas. Adhishtaya Manahacha. So, these Indriyas, they get this power through mind. Mind also gets this knowledge through Buddhi, and that is because it is all illumined by Atma. So, for mind also, Jivatma is the substratum, the Adhisthana. So, with this, the Jivatma will undergo the experience in the new body. If the parents of that new Shariram are good, then he or she will have a good time. If they are not good, then he will have a bad time. So it all depends on the prarabdham. Bhagavan is not responsible for this. Only Jiva is responsible. Because whatever the karmas he accrued, based on that he gets the janma. Vishayan upasyevate. So depending on the previous punya papa, he will get the new janma and enjoy the corresponding Vishaya vastus. So some people, they are born with utter poverty, some are born rich, some are born with a silver spoon. Like that, it all depends on the prarabdha. So even if you are reading a small letter in a book, that is all because of Bhagavan. Because your eye is capable of seeing, means I got that capacity because of Lord. Eye is a jadavastu. It has got that capacity only because it has got the Chaitanya Shakti through Atma. Atma is the thing which gives you the capacity. Atma is nothing but God. So the invisible Shakti, the invisible Chaitanya Shakti is nothing but Chit, that is Bhagavan. So it is not seen, it is not visible. Every action, every experience you undergo is due to Chaitanya. You need not ask Bhagavan is there or not. If you are active, if you are experiencing sentient activity, that is the very proof that God is there. If you lose the power in your house, then what will you do? You knock the next door and see whether there is a power or not. You don't ask, you simply see the fan and other things whether they are functioning or not. If they function, you simply understand the current is there. You haven't seen the electricity, but the moment they are functioning, you infer that electricity is there in their house. So in the same way, if this human being is functioning, that itself is a proof for God. That itself is a kind of proof that God is very much there. So we will proceed to sloka number 10. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudha nanupasyanti pasyanti jnana chakshushaha. Vimudaha, the deluded ones, na anupasyanti, do not recognize him. Utkramantam, who leaves the body. Sthitam va api, who resides in the body. Bhunjanam va, who experiences objects. Gunanvitam, and who has gunas. Jnana chakshushaha, those who have eye of wisdom, recognize him. Pashyanti, recognize him. Utkramantam sthitam va. Bhunjanam guna anvitam vapi. Vimudha na anupasyanti. Jnana chakshushaha pasyanti. The deluded ones do not recognize him. Who leaves the body, who resides in the body, who experiences objects, who has gunas. Those who have the eye of wisdom recognize him. So, all these slokas so far now, they are preparatory slokas. This very sloka is very important. Only a matured and a learned, informed person can understand, can visualize, can feel the presence of God in every action, in every experience. If you are having any experience, that experience is due to God. Without God, nothing can happen. So, if any action, any experience is visible, all that is because of God. So, just as a bulb is shining, fan is rotating, then your refrigerator is, functioning, then immediately you info electricity is there. Electricity is flowing. So, this inference is because on its own bulb cannot function, on its own fan cannot rotate, on its own refrigerator cannot function. They need electricity to function as they are. So if they have to function, they need electricity. So electricity is the invisible power which makes them function. So in the same way, this entire world, the jiva, if he is experiencing, all his experience is due to the presence of Atma. He lends his existence to the human being and makes him function. So it is all due to Chit and Sat. If you are keeping kumkum on your forehead, you look into the mirror. Then will you place your kumkum onto the image on the mirror or onto you? You put the kumkum onto you. So similarly, if there is a some kind of dirt on your face, you just wash your face. You don't wash the mirror. So in the same way, so this is all abhasa. So if there is an abhasa of Bhagavan in the form of Jivatma, the original is that Bimba Chaitanyam or God. So he must be acknowledged. Just as we are, acknowledging the original face, not the reflected face. The same way, by looking at these actions, by looking at these, transactions, you have to acknowledge the invisible Chit, invisible Sat. Jnana Chakshushaha, those who are wise, those who are informed, those who have exposure to Shastra, they understand that this is all because of that Paramatma. So, just as the electricity, your naked eye cannot see electricity. But the moment the fan is rotating, you understand electricity is very much there. So in the same way, the Sthula Sariram is functioning. On its own, it cannot function. You understood. The moment Sushma Sariram leaves this body, it becomes a log of wood. So the activity is all due to that Sushma Sariram, and Sushma Sariram got this activity due to that Chetana Tattvam or Chit or Sat. So wise person can understand, can visualize, can see with his eye of wisdom in every action. He can see Paramatma. Jivatma is not different from Paramatma. Jivatma is that very Brahma in the form of Jiva. So, the moment you see a person is active, or that Paramatma is very much residing in the Jiva, that is why he is very active. Bunjanamba, if he is enjoying, if he is eating, if he is hearing, if he is seeing, if he is touching, all these experiences are because of God. I see, I hear, I smell, I taste, I touch. So all these are because of Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is because of Chit. Chit is nothing but God. So, Chesta Darsanatvat Ishvaraha Asti. This is what we have learnt in Taittiriya Upanishad. This kind of knowledge a wise person can recognize. Gunanvitam. Here the word guna means response. So he responds. So if a person responds, Anvitam means in Jivatma there are three types of responses. So these three types of responses won't be there once you lose your life. So every response in the body is a proof of the existence of Brahma in the body, existence of Atma in the body. So after death, what do? They tie the body to that ladder and then take him to burial ground and burn him. So if he is alive, it cannot be possible. So jnana chakshusha pasyanti. So these wise people, they understand the very presence of God in the jiva. Vimudha. Vimudha means those who are not having maturity, those ajnanis, na anupasyanti. They cannot have this kind of understanding. They simply say God is not there. They think that only the body has got chaitanyam on its own. Body is sentient by birth. This is a kind of Charvaka Siddhantam. They think that body is Atma. Body is sentient by itself. Shastra will not agree for this kind of argument. Body is Panchabhotikam. It is made up of Panchabhotas. It can never be sentient on its own. If it is sentient, the sentiency has come from some external source, which is nothing but Atma. So here Paramatma is talking about two different people, a wise person and an unwise person, a jnani and an ajnani. A jnani knows when a person is active, when a person touches something, when he sees, when he hears, when he touches, when he smells. All these experiences are due to Paramatma. Because the moment Sushma Sariram leaves, so these activities are not seen. That means the Chetana Tattvam, the Chaitanyam is reflected in the mind. Mind in turn reflects the sense organs. The sense organ in turn reflects the entire body. And that's how you get the experiences. So a wise person recognizes all this. Whereas an ajnani will not understand. He will simply say, God is not there. Yatanto yoginaschainam pasyantyatman yavastitam yatantyoppyakrutatmano nainam pasyantyachetasaha. Yatantaha, striving, yoginaha cha, the yogis, pashyanti enam, find him. Atmani avasthitam, akrutatmanaha, the impure-minded, achetasaha, the indiscriminate one, na pasyanti, do not find, enam, him, that very Lord. Api na pasyanti. Api antaha, in spite of striving. Yatantaha yoginaha atmani avasthitam yenam pasyanti. Achetasaha akrutaha atmanaha cha yatantaha api yenam na pasyanti. Striving, the yogis find him present in the very body. The impure-minded, indiscriminate ones do not find him in spite of striving. Yoginaha means vivekinaha, those who have that atman atma vivekam, those who are matured, those who are jnanis. Yenam pasyanti, they understand Brahma as Jivatma. Mamai vanso jivaloke. In the very beginning, Paramatma explained that his Amsa is there in the Jivatma. So, the Jivatma is nothing but Paramatma. Atmani avasthitam, he is very much residing in this Karya Karana Sanghatam, in this body, mind, sense complex. Paramatma is residing. So, how he is residing? As a reflected consciousness, as a Chidabhasa, as Jivatma or Paramatma. That is why we say Paramatma is nothing but Jiva. Paramatma is residing here in the very heart cave. Heart is mind in Shastram. So, in the heart cave, he is very much residing. How he is residing? As Chidabhasa. Deho Devalaya Proktaha. So Paramatma is residing here in this very temple as Paramatma, as the presiding deity. So this very body is a temple, and mind is the sanctum sanctorium, and the consciousness is God. So, we have that sloka also related to this. So, Paramatma is very much there in my heart cave as Jivatma. He is the Atma Lingam in the very heart. So, this is the feeling a jnani will have. Yatantaha, even by a proper examination, proper effort, these jnanis, they recognize God. Karma yogena chitta suddhihi, upasanena chitta ekagrata, sravanena ajnana nivrittihi, mananena samsaya nivrittihi, nididhyasanena vasana nivritti. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. By doing karma yoga, you can cleanse your antakarnas. You can purify your mind. By doing meditation, upasana yogam, you can have that one-pointed concentration. Chitta ekagrata you can achieve. By exposing to a Srotriya Brahmanishta Guru for a long time and doing Sravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, you can get Atma Jnanam. You can know your own reality. You can understand your higher self. And staying in that Nishtha, you can have moksha. So all these sadhanas are must. So if you have to understand Gita, you have to do Sravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam under an able and competent Guru. Now, whereas Akrutatmanaha, a person who is not having any faith on God, who has not refined the mind, who is not ready to accept Shastra, who is not having qualification, they are called Ajnaninaha They are called Ajnanis and Akrutas. So they are not refined ones. So Krutam means refined, Akrutaha means unrefined. So those who are unrefined, Ajnanis, Achetasaha, they have no capacity to do Atma and Atma Vivekam. So Chetasaha means who can have the discrimination. They can understand what is Atma, what is Anatma, like that. They can do Vivekam. Achetasaha means they cannot have that Vivekam. So such persons, Yenam na pasyanti, they cannot understand that God is there very much in the heart cave. They will say it is all, not correct. So, whereas we have, that clear understanding, those who are learning Bhagavad Gita understands Paramatma is there very much in the heart cave. In Atma Puja, we say Atmane Namaha, Antaratmane Namaha, Paramatmane Namaha, Jivatmane Namaha. So like that, you do Atma Puja. So once you do puja to Bhagavan outside, then you do puja inside. Atma means not this body-wise or Vyashti-wise Atma, Vyashti-wise expression. It is that Paramardhika Satyam, the ultimate reality. So that is the Chetana Tattvam, which is very much there. Akrutatmanaha na pasyanti, yatantaha pi na pasyanti. Because their mind is not pure, they cannot understand, they cannot perceive me. Even if they try, they cannot understand that God is there very much in the body. So in spite of their trial, in spite of their efforts, they cannot understand, they cannot visualize God within the mind. So this is what Paramatma is explaining. The Jivatma is nothing but Paramatma in different ways. So because both are nothing but reflections of that Paramatma, Paramatma wanted us to understand this concept. So he is emphasizing that in this very chapter. With this, we have completed 11th sloka. We will take up sloka number 12 in the next class. So the sloka 7, 9, 10, 11, he says that I am very much there in all. So he expresses his very presence. Paramatma expresses his very presence in Jivatma from sloka number 7 up to 11. So this is Sarvatma Bhavana. Brahma is there very much in the Jiva. Then he goes to external world and he expresses whatever you see outside Jiva, again Paramatma is there. Now in this portion, he expressed that in the Jivatma, Paramatma is there. And hereafter, he will point out outside also Paramatma is there. This is the idea. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.